Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors. So the one I got today is a sour. It was one of those nights I really wanted a beer. I looked in the fridge. I got like 5 or 6 different styles of beer, and I was kind of hesitant which one I wanted. So I finally decided I haven't had a sour in a while. And this is one of the ones from my beer club, so it does come with a newsletter. It tells me a little bit about the beer and the brewery. Salter Street Brewery, and I believe I did one of their beers last week. With my beer club, I normally get 12 different beers. 12 beers, 6 different beers, normally two from 3 different breweries. So Salter Street, I believe I did their other one last week, so I'm not going to read a little bit about the brewery. However, for the beer itself, it says Time Bomb, Sour Berry Blast, pours a glowing fuchsia color and is made with real blackberries and blueberry juice. A bright and light thirst quencher that's a blast to your taste buds. And I am a big fan of blueberries. Up where I live here in Pooch Cove, Newfoundland, big blueberry area, about 5 minutes behind my house. So, all right, so it's 4.2% alcohol, and not a lot of information. Like I said, out of Toronto, Ontario, it says ingredients: water, malta, barley, hops, yeast, and blackberry, blueberry puree, hibiscus, and orange peel, and that's about it. So I've already given my glass a cold water rinse. So I know it's going to be sour. And sour beers, I mean, if you've grown up, like myself, North America, growing up we were inundated with basically lagers, or Labatt's or Coors or Budweiser. So different beers, when you get into craft brewery, it takes a while to get used to them and enjoy them. And sour beers are one of those ones which I really didn't think I was going to enjoy. But lo and behold, most of the time I find them quite enjoyable. Now, in my younger days, I'd sit down with a dozen beer and, for a night out. I don't do that anymore, and I don't think I could ever do it with a dozen sours by any means. But it is a nice, enjoyable beer. So, getting typical sweet aroma there. Kind of smells like a sweet lager type thing. And nice, almost like a reddish color, blackberry and blueberry, so that's to be expected. Black, purple type thing. Sorry, purple, reddish type thing. Let's see how it tastes. It's obviously tart, a little bit sour. However, I have had much more sour sours. Definitely a fruity taste to it, or a beery taste. It almost reminds me a little bit of a really, really light red wine type of thing. And by all means, I'm not a wine drinker, especially red wine. However, it kind of reminds me of that, but not. It's just faint. It's not enough to turn me off. However, with that being said, I'm not overly impressed with the lack of carbonization here. There's really, a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it foam, a little bit of residue of foam on the top there now, but looking through it, I mean, I see occasional bubble, but not too many at all. And I'm not a big fan of low carbonated beers for the most part. However, it is easy drinking. Oh, honestly, it's almost like drinking a glass of Kool-Aid that's not overly sweet. So it's sweet for a beer, obviously, but as you can see, there is some carbonization. Rating wise, it's not a bad beer. However, for me, it's not a great beer either. I'm thinking somewhere towards the middle there. My ratings are always out of 5, with the 1 being a drain pour. Don't like it, can't finish it. I'm literally going to pour it down the drain. A 2 is like, I'm not a big fan, but I'll finish it. A 3 would be a good beer. A 4 would be a very good beer. And a 5 would be the best beer I've ever had. This one, honestly, I'm thinking anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5, and 3 sits in the middle there, so I'm kind of inclined towards a 3. I think if the If it was a little bit stronger tasting, I think that might turn me off a bit. It's because I kind of go towards like almost like a red wine. And if it was a little bit more carbonated, it might actually push it to a 3.5 for me. The easy drinking aspects wants me to push it to 3.5, but the lack of carbonation is telling me, yeah, just it's not quite there for me. So with that being said, I think I'll stick with the 3.0. It's not a bad beer. It's not a great beer. It's easy drinking. I'm enjoying it. But I wouldn't have a desire to have another at this point. If I was somewhere at a party or get together and somebody offered me, by all means, I'd have it. I would enjoy it. However, if I seen it at my local beer store, my corner store, I don't think I would have a tendency to pick it up again. To actually, pay out of pocket for a 6-pack. I don't think I'd quite go that far, but I wouldn't have any hesitation drinking it if it was given to me. As I said, a little bit more carbonization would do it for me, but it is what it is. So there you go, folks, for the Time Bomb Sour Series Sour Berry Blast from Salter Street Brewery 3.0. I still have a couple more in the fridge from the Beer Club, and I also have a new order coming within the next probably week and a half, 2 weeks. So hopefully I'll do another one next couple of days. So until next beer, as always, enjoy responsibly. Cheers.